Hello. Introduce yourselves, introduce your school, and then tell us a little bit about your dessert.
Mike, could you please present our presentation I have sent via email for you?
Oh, okay. Let me do that. Okay, I'll do that. I'll be glad to.
چه کنم؟
Okay, I have the PowerPoint coming up right now.
اوکی فکر کنم بیادش شما چی بود که اسکرین شما بگیرید میادش اینجا اما پیست هم نمیخواد بذارید همین دارم یک فیل اسکرین بگیریم بگیریم خب ماسه میگیره شما هر چند تا پرینت اسکرین بذارید بگیرید نه هیچ کارش نمیخواد فقط اون دکمه رو بزنید
خاموش هم بشه
سیو به همون لحظه سیو
Okay. Karat, if you could introduce your school now, and then I'll tell me when to flip them, and I'll flip them. Go ahead.
I'm Nilufar Amini Najafian, and we're from Farad School, and we're from 9th grade.
And I'm Elna Staftachi, and we're going to introduce Sholazar today.
Okay.
Well, Sholazar is a delicious, old-fashioned dessert that is very delicate and mild in sweetness. And its golden color is because of its saffron in it. Shole means pudding, and zar means yellow. This traditional Persian dessert is usually served in dinner parties and in individual bowls, and garnished with designs made with ground cinnamon or bits of almonds and pistachios. Some people cook sholazar in big quantities to share it with family and friends on religious holidays. And instead of designs, they will write the religious figures on the dessert.
So the ingredients for Sholazar are a cup of jasmine rice, 6 cups of boiling water, 2 cups of granulated sugar, 2.5 cups of extra boiling water, a 1/4 cup of rose water, a 1/4 tablespoon of ground saffron. As garnish, you can add ground cinnamon, chopped pistachios or almonds, and dried rose petals.
If you're familiar with Persian cuisine, you know that saffron is very important and often essential for our cooking. And Iran has one of the best world's quality saffron because of its high coloring quality. And the best and most expensive saffron in Iran is sargo saffron. That sargo means the top section of the flower. And each saffron flower has 3 filaments that they will cut the deep red part of it, and they will let it dry, and then they will produce sargo saffron.
And we've prepared some Sholazar for you to see.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't really see.
Could you taste it?
It sure smells good.
Visual taste.
Okay. Did you want to go over how you make it now too, or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna explain it now.
Okay, good, thanks.
So the first step is to wash the rice. Iranians usually wash your rice by draining and adding water 3 or 4 times. It's important to drain the water completely because if you don't, the sholazard will get too sticky. The second step is to put the rice in a saucepan and add the boiled water to it. You put the saucepan over a bowl of boiled water and wait for it to cook for an hour and 15 minutes. It's important not to stir during this time because if you do, the sholazad will get sticky and super tender. So the third step is to add 2.5 cups of water, 2 cups of sugar, a 1/4 cup of rose water, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground saffron, and stir until it gets completely mixed. You need to increase the heat from low to medium, and you need to stir during the whole process. You continue cooking for 5 minutes or until the sholazard is completely thick and has reached its rich texture. After that, you need to pour it into small bowls or goblets that you want to serve in. You need to let the sholazard cool in room temperature, and after that, put it in the refrigerator so it can cool down for 1 to 2 hours. After it has cooled down completely, you can design it with any garnish of your choice, but sholazad tastes amazing with or without garnish. Now I'm going to tell you some nutritional facts about sholazad. So one of the most important ingredients is jasmine rice. Jasmine rice has 173 calories in 1 cup of cooked rice. So it has a total fat of 1 gram and a protein of 4 grams. The next ingredient is rose water. So in a cup of rose water, you have 44.9 calories, 12 grams of carbohydrates, and no proteins. It's also rich in vitamins and minerals, and it has different fatty acids and amino acids. Okay, so saffron, which is the most important ingredient, is a very rich food. In 1 tablespoon of saffron, you have 2.2 calories, 0.1 gram of protein, 1 milligram of sodium, and 12 milligrams of potassium. As for its vitamins and minerals, it has very different vitamins like vitamin A, B, C, and D. And for minerals, it has, for example, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, and folate. And sugar. In 1 serving of sugar, you can have 15 calories and 4 grams of actual sugar. And pistachio. Even though we don't add much pistachio to sholazad, it's still an important ingredient. So in a serving size of 1 cup, you will have 691 calories and 55.8 fat.
The school prepares sholazad because of Imam Hussein ceremony, and it's once a year the school prepares it for us.
Oh, wow. What time of year?
The ceremony of Imam Hussein.
It's according to the Arabic calendar, so to our calendar it differs every year, but it has a special day according to the Arabic calendar.
Okay. Any questions from Taiwan? Just a second. Well, I have a couple questions. How often would you cook this at home? Hey, Brian, you have some questions?
可以问吗？
就站起来，
站起来，快点！
How often do you eat it?
大声。
How often do you eat it?
Say it one more time, please.
大声。
How often do you eat it?
Did you catch that correct?
Yes, we eat
那就再讲一次。
有听到吗？
Could you repeat your answer again?
Yes, we eat dessert as a dessert on holidays.
Yeah, I think she said holidays.
Holidays.
Okay, any other questions?
We eat it on
Okay. What was that second question, please? Okay, if there aren't any more questions, Kurat, let me try to see if I stop the screen share for a second. Okay, I don't think you need to see me. Okay, Kurat, why don't you tell a little bit about your school to the people in Taiwan, and Taiwan tell a little bit about your school to the people in Iran. Go ahead, Kurat.
So, Herat is one of the most prestigious and best schools in Tehran and Iran. We have a very good international department that I think it's the best in the entire country. Our school has from elementary school up until high school, and you can start your education from first grade to 12th grade here in Herat.
We have 1,200 students in this school.
Wow, and you guys are in the 9th grade, you said?
Yes.
Okay. And Mary's group, tell us a little bit about the formerly known National Dali High School.
Hello, we are the affiliated high school of National Zhongxin University. Taiwan is located in the central part in Asia, and our school is like the central part of Taiwan, Taichung. There are about 1,700 students in our school. The students in our school are from 10 to 12 graders, and the students here are 10 and 11th graders. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And when we're supposed to be waiting on some schools from India right now and a school from the Ukraine. Did you want to? When were you going to do your presentations, Taiwan?
We were planning to do it at around 8, but we have another school here with us.
Yeah, introduce them.
Yeah, we have Zhongxin Junior High School here with us. You wave at the back. We have junior high school students. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? Would anybody tell us what grades you're in and what kind of you're in a special program? Anybody? What grade? Tell us what grade you are in. Are you in 7th or 8th grade or 9th grade? Anybody?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. 7th? Okay, so they're in 7th grade. Are you in a special program?
Yeah, they're in the gifted program.
Okay, so they're in the language gifted program, and we also have 2 teachers at the back. Yeah. And so we welcome them to observe this very special lesson with us. And here we see the very wonderful students from Iran, and they made a special presentation. And also we see a teacher, Michael, from USA.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And a picture of Taiwan behind me.
Yes, that's the map we sent to you.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay, now as we're kind of waiting here, and I got a hold of them from India, and I don't know when they're supposed to be here. I have a couple videos, presentations I could show that just in case. But let me try to go to that. Yeah, I get it.
So Taiwan has other questions for Iran. Would it be okay for us to ask them questions?
Ask the questions, and I'll be here in just a second. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Stand up and ask.
Did you make a
dessert?
Did you make a dessert at home or you just buy it, bought it?
We make it at home.
You make it at home?
Yeah.
Wow, it looks delicious.
Yes, we would love
Yeah, they would love for us to try some, but unfortunately they cannot, just hand it over to us. Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for Iran? We have other questions? No? And Michael, are you ready to play the video or presentation?
I'm trying to do that right now. Thank you. Okay. I'll try to get everything. Okay, now I think this will work. Hopefully you see this in just a second. Yeah. All I see is, okay. Okay, this is from the Ukraine. And this is called a honey cake. And it's from the Kiev National, it's a Ukrainian Humanities Lyceum of the Kiev National University. So it's an affiliated high school with Kiev National University in Kiev. And hello, my name is Yana. I want to present to you a cake which is popular in my country. It is roughly called, translation, honey cake. I chose it because I think it's the best dessert we can do there in our free time without too much effort. In the Ukraine language is called Medivik, I believe, excuse me. It's been very popular in our country for the last few decades. It's still very popular due to its being easily cooked. About the ingredients and needed pretty small too. If you're skilled in cooking, it won't take more than a half hour plus 2 or 3 hours to cool down in the refrigerator. The main ingredients are 200 grams of butter, 1 can of condensed milk, cake layers, I bought them earlier. Any additional ingredients you'd like to add for decorations, and a mixer and a saucepan. You put the butter and milk together, needed for cream. In the end, you could also have coconut, cocoa, vanilla, roasted nuts, cognac, or dessert wine. Okay, that's for the adults. Step number 1. The first step is to cut the butter into small pieces for it's melted faster. And you can just take it off into the refrigerator a little bit earlier. So they cut the butter up very thinly. Number 2, they blend those pieces together. Step number 3, smooth it out into a homogeneous paste. They have a whisk right there and they're smoothing it out. Number 4, step 2. After starting the mixing, not too fast because it tends to splash. Adding the condensed milk very gradually, and then you'll get from your paste to a more consistent layer. Additional step. Now you can add, mentioned earlier, cocoa, vanilla, roasted nuts, cognac, or dessert wine. The cake base itself, now that the cream or the cement of the cake is ready, you can move to building our dessert. You unpack the box, you take out 1 layer, and then put it on the plate. They bought the cake part right there themselves. I don't know what it's consisted of. Then you put this over the cake base. You cover it with cream. Don't use too much. It's the foundation, so you need to be steady. And you put enough so you can put the next layer on top of it. Then add all the layers 1 by 1, covering them with cream, increasing the amount of it. Leave a little if you like it later. Attention, do not put too much cream at the center of the layer. Try to put more cream at the edges so they won't be too dry. Beginning of the end, now you have all the layers are used. You can cover the top, last of them only with a bigger amount of cream, but also with some kind of food dye. And now it says, finally, use all the cream that is left to cover the sides of your cake. You decorate it. No matter how tasty the dessert is, it's much appreciated also if it looks nice. Cover it with nuts, dried or candied fruits, berries, and seeds. Of course, you can use another variation instead, chocolates, honey, syrup, or anything like these. Freezing. Now that you have finished, you put the cake into the fridge for 2 to 3 hours to let the cream seep through. You can leave it there for up to 24 hours. Better not to postpone it much longer, though. And ready? This recipe is a good choice if you have no oven but still want to cook a cake for some occasion for yourself. If the kids or siblings, nieces, or nephews want a surprise, anyone's with it, you're concerned about their safety with the oven. And so the cake is ready. Don't forget to invite your friends over for a cup of tea. Bon appetit. This is the honey cakes that can be found in Ukrainian shops and supermarkets. 2 of them, very nice. If you want to bake a cake layers yourself, follow the links on this recipe, and it gives you all the recipe right there. We have it on our Facebook page, so you just go to it and you can try this at your home or at school. Any questions?
Well, yes, we do have one. You said it was called the honey cake, but there wasn't any honey ingredients.
Yeah, I noticed that. Don't catch me going. Although my family came from Ukraine many years ago, I had no idea. I was hoping that they would be here. I would assume that the honey was probably in the cake itself.
Have you ever honey cake?
Have I ever what?
Tasted the honey cake?
No, but there's a lady that's going to be on here later. Some of her children, they make this cake. She's from United States, but their children are Ukrainian, and their families still make the cake. So this is legitimately a favorite in the Ukrainian community. It's very similar to many other types of cakes like that. Some cakes will have butter frosting, some cakes, and they'll have several layers. I've seen it in dessert shops where they may have 4 or 5 layers of it. I think they just showed 2 here, but it's very common, I think. We do have our good friends in Brazil joining us now. So Brazil, you want to go ahead and do one of your presentations at this point?
Well, if you want to, we can present now.
Yeah, that'd be great, because it looks like we're kind of we're waiting on some people and they hadn't come in yet. And then Mary's going to do hers at the top of the hour. So go ahead.
Okay, my students aren't here, but they have sent me the presentation. So they presented to the class on Saturday, so I can present for them.
Okay, if you could just do one now or something, that would be great. We can wait for your students too. Or if you could,
no,
we have.
Go ahead. The problem is that they are at school in the morning, so they can't come. They are in a different school, I mean, because this is a private language school, so they can't come in the morning.
Okay, well, good. So go ahead and present now then.
Okay.
And you have people from Taiwan and people from Iran listening.
Very good. From Taiwan and?
And Iran.
Iran, okay, very good. So the students that made this presentation are Giovanna and Nathan. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Very good. So these are some of the most popular cookies and cupcakes that we think that are from Brazil, because they are typical here. We make many other cookies and cupcakes, similar to cookies and cupcakes from other countries, especially European cupcakes and American ones. Let's start with some cookies. This is delicious. Yesterday, I went downtown to run some errands and bought about 200 grams of this cookie. It's delicious. We call it here casadinho. Casadinho is like recently married in English, or the word-by-word translation would be something like a little married, but it doesn't make many sense in English, right? Or marriedish. So why do we say that it's casadinho, it's married? Because it's the perfect match between guava and butter cookie. It's a butter cookie with guava. It's made of butter, flour, and condensed milk. Almost all of our cookies have condensed milk. And I don't know, from a little research I made last year, I found out that our condensed milk is much sweeter than any other condensed milk in the world. So it's a very strong sweet taste. There is a thick feeling of guava. Actually, it's not guava itself, the fruit, but it's the guava sweet, or guava paste, guava candy. And it is splashed with crystal sugar or crystal sugar, like sprinkles. Okay? The next one is polvilho, or powder cookie here in Brazil. A lot of people like it. It's very popular in Brazil, but especially, I think, especially with elderly people. For example, my father, my grandmother really like this kind of cookie, but some young people like it too. They usually eat it with coffee in the morning for breakfast, or even as a snack in the evening, in the afternoon. Because here in Brazil, we usually have a big lunch, but breakfast, snacks, and even dinner are not very heavy. They're lighter. So sometimes we only eat some cookies for dinner. We usually eat them with coffee. Some people like coffee, some people like coffee and milk. For example, I'm not much into coffee, but coffee with milk is my favorite. And there are some different flavors, like cheese, onion and parsley, powdered sugar, also bacon, different kinds of flavors for this especially specific cookie. We have maizena. Maizena is a kind of manioc flour. It's sweet. You can eat them with butter, curd, jellies, cheese, guava. Usually people drink it with coffee. But most of the times, when I eat it, for example, for breakfast, I dip it into coffee and milk and eat it. It's very good. I don't know if you have this kind of manioc flour cookies in your countries, but for me, it's something I eat almost every day for breakfast. Now some cupcakes from Brazil. We have this cheese with guava candy, guava paste. It's usually made with wheat flour, filling of guava, cream cheese coverage. Usually it's the same mixture or the same concept of the cookie I mentioned in the beginning. This cookie. It's a butter cookie with guava. So we call it the same thing. Every time we have cheese and guava candy or guava paste, we call it casadinho, like married, a little married, marriedish, or Romeo and Juliet.
Ooh.
The perfect match, Romeo and Juliet, cheese with guava. I don't know if you call the same name in other countries or if you usually match guava and cheese. Not usually.
No, I've never seen that before.
Very good. It's very common here. We also have paçoca. Paçoca is a kind of peanut candy. They shred the peanut very well, toast it, and make a dough of this shredded peanut. So it's wheat flour with crunchy peanut. The fillings can be different. We have a sweet, a kind of candy or sweet called paçoca, and it's just the peanut crunched. But this is a cupcake made with this kind of sweet, paçoca. The fillings can be chocolate, white chocolate, caramel, and sweet milk, and all those fillings have peanut butter too. I've never eaten this kind of cupcake here, but paçoca is something I like to eat almost every day after lunch. It's a kind of dessert for me. This one is beijinho in Portuguese. In English, it's something like little kiss. As you can see, we use a lot of small words in English. Like we like to use the ish, the word with ish in Portuguese. Like casado, a person who is married, we say casadinho, like little married. Beijo is a kiss. We say beijinho, a little kiss. So we do that with a lot of people, with a lot of things. For example, especially in my state, Minas Gerais, we do that a lot. Here, cheese is very common. We have a lot of different kinds of cheese. And sometimes we don't say, I would like to eat some cheese. I want some cheese. We say something like queijinho, like a little cheese. I want a little cheese. I want a queijinho. So that's very typical from our region. It's very common in Brazil. The sweet is made with condensed milk and grated coconut. Our condensed milk is very sweet. It has a lot of sugar. It's very strong flavor. The cupcake is made with wheat flour, condensed milk, and grated coconut. The filling is, again, okay. So the filling, the cupcake, and the sweet have condensed milk and grated coconut. Because Besides the cupcake, we also have this sweet called beijinho, called little kiss. And the coverage is the same. Beijinho is very common. I don't like it very much because it has grated coconut, but many people like it. And we usually eat it at children's parties. And the last one, fubá, or cornmeal. Fubá is very common here in our region too, because we have a lot of corn plantations. It's simple to make and very tasty. We usually have full cakes, fubá cakes. They are big, made in a bowl. It's very good too. And sometimes we eat that with cheese. We put some pieces of cheese inside of the fubá cake. But this cupcake is made as the same as the normal cake. The only difference is the size. So we have eggs, fubá or cornmeal, oil, water or milk, baking powder, and maizena, that manioc flour that I showed you. So some very common things that we use to make everything here are cheese, milk, condensed milk, fubá, this cornmeal, and manioc flour. There are some very popular ingredients in my state. That's it. Do you have any questions?
Any questions, Mary or Corette?
Are these cupcakes from your state or in general from Brazil?
Good question. Good question. If they are from my state or from Brazil, right?
Yeah.
It's difficult. I don't know. It's very difficult to say because different states have many. Maybe they have the same recipes, but with a little change, a little differences. But I think that these specific ones that I told you today are from my state, because my state is very old here in Brazil. I mean, it has a long history. It was the second or third state to be colonized here in Brazil. It was very close to the beach where the Portuguese people arrived, and there were a lot of mines in 300 or 400 years ago, even 200 years ago. They exploited a lot of gold mines here, so there were a lot of slaves too. So this mixture between Indians, Portuguese, and African slaves made this culture here in my state very interesting, and with a lot of different religions and different types of foods too. So I think they are from my state, Minas Gerais, but I'm not sure.
Thank you. What cupcakes or cookies do you prepare for your special holidays?
Special holidays? Let's see. On New Year's Eve or after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's Eve, many families make French toast. Do you know French toast? It's like, okay. So it's with a lot of sugar. We use a lot of sugar and cinnamon upon the toast with condensed milk. Every sweet here has condensed milk. So it's very tasty. It's kind of moist. We kind of must moisturize it with condensed milk and put a lot of sugar and cinnamon. So it's delicious. We don't have turkey for Christmas. With a holiday, it's very famous in the United States. I don't know if it's popular in other countries too, is Thanksgiving, right? I think it's only in the United States. I don't know. But here in Brazil, we don't have Thanksgiving. We don't usually celebrate Halloween. We are getting closer to Halloween, right? But we don't celebrate it here. I mean, some English schools, some people that really like American culture like to celebrate Halloween, but it's not a Brazilian thing. But
how about for Carnival?
Yes, that I was thinking about that. We don't have special food for Carnival. Oh, but in Carnival season, the Catholics don't get meat. So they only eat fish for like 40 days. Only the Catholic people. Maybe some evangelical people also do that, but in less amount of people. So they don't eat meat for 40 days. They eat a lot of bacalhau, or in English, codfish, and different kinds of fish. But then after that, they eat a lot of red meat too. But we don't have a specific kind of food for Carnival. For New Year's Eve and Christmas, we have some special end of year or New Year's foods. But it's nothing like the turkey you usually have, or each family can have a different tradition.
Any other questions?
Yes, we have several questions from Taiwan.
Okay, go ahead.
With the first.
According to all kinds of desserts that you just mentioned, and most of the desserts are made of guavas. Are guavas really popular in Brazil?
Oh yeah, very good question. Guavas are very popular in Brazil. Well, some sad note about the guava tree. It's very strong, right? So some people, the guava branches are very strong. So it's well known here in Brazil to be a tree that people that would like to suicide use, because they can hang in the guava tree. So that's a very sad note about the guava tree. People suicide on it. But very common. Suicide is not very common in Brazil. Usually Brazil don't give up. But it's very common all over the year. We have some seasonal fruits. Guava, we have guava in a lot of different months here in Brazil. And even when we don't have guavas on the trees, we can buy them in a supermarket or grocery store. So it's very common. We can buy it all over the year. If people have guava trees in their yards, they have some periods that they can collect the guava from the tree. But it's very common here. Here in my state, we have something called pequi. I don't know how to say that in English. I want to show you. Let me share screens with you so I can show you pequi. Pequi, here in my area, in my city, if you cut, oh, it says that it's cariocar, or cariocar, sawari nut. There are some names here on Google for pequi. Let me show you some pictures. If you cut pequi if you cut the pequi tree, how do you say when it falls down? I forgot. If you cut it out, you need to plant 12 other pequi trees. Can you see the pequi?
Yeah, we go.
We eat it with rice for lunch. I don't like it. It has a lot of spikes. So to eat that, you have to be very careful, because you kind of, you can chew it, but if you chew it too hard, it has a lot of spikes and you can get hurt. Let me see if I can show you the pequi tree.
Is it a fruit or what is it?
Yes, it's a fruit.
And that's the seed inside the fruit?
Yes, we usually eat the seed.
Okay.
So it's a very typical kind of tree here in my region, because it's a semi-arid region. So it's kind of dry, and the trees are very twinky. They are very dry. The barks are very strong. So this is the pequi tree. So there's nothing to do with the guava tree, but it reminds me of it.
Okay, thank you.
We have another question.
Go ahead.
Are guavas in your country cheap or expensive?
Did you get the
Cheap
question?
or expensive?
Yes,
If it's cheap or expensive.
in your country.
Okay. I usually don't go grocery shopping. My wife does that, so I don't really know. But I think it's cheap. I think it's cheap because it's very common here. Some very expensive fruits we have here are pear, kiwi, the kiwi fruit, some kinds of apples from other countries. There are some kinds of apples that are cheap, but some apples from Argentina, from Chile, can be a little expensive. And watermelon, melon are very cheap too. But guava, I think guava is cheap.
Okay, I wanted to tell you that we do have some people from Argentina listening as well.
Ah, very nice. This new classroom here from Argentina.
Yes, Argentina and Bursra, Turkey. We're going to go next to Bursra before we go to Taiwan, and then we go to Argentina. So we'd like to thank Brazil. And go ahead, Aline from Bursra, and begin your presentation.
Hello, Michael. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have more students for today.
Well, good. And you got people listening to you from Iran, Taiwan, Brazil, Argentina, and somebody in the Ukraine, I think, is just about to come in. But go ahead.
Nice. Okay. We have one presentation and 3 videos, so we thought we shall start with the presentation. Okay.
Yeah, go.
Ne? Ekran paylaş. Şuradan direkt presentation'ı açtıktan sonra gireceksin. Şöyle aslında. Şu an görüyor musun? Hello, Mike.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
What have you been doing lately? I missed you.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so I will start with this presentation. How to make pies, cakes, cookies, and cupcakes. This slideshow contents are ingredients and recipes of pies, cakes, cookies, and cupcakes. Ingredients of apple pie: half cup of sugar, half cup packed brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, quarter teaspoon ground ginger, quarter teaspoons of ground nutmeg, 6 to 7 cups thinly sliced peeled tart apples, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 9 inches of pastry for double crust pie, 1 tablespoon butter, 1 large egg white, and additional sugar. So the recipe is: firstly, in a small bowl, combine the sugars, flour, and spices. Set aside. In a large bowl, toast apples with lemon juice. Add sugar mixture, toast the cup. Then line a 9-inch pie plate with bottom crust. Trim pastry even with edge. Fill with apple mixture. Dot with butter. Roll out remaining pastry to fit top of pie. Place over filling. Trim, seal, and flute edges. Cut slits in pastry. After that, beat egg white until foamy. Brush over pastry. Sprinkle with sugar. Cover edges loosely with foil. Lastly, bake at 19 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes. Remove foil and bake for 20-25 minutes longer or until crust is golden brown and filling is bubbly. Cool on a wire rack. So, ingredients of sweet potato pound cake. 1 cup of butter softened, 2 cups of white sugar, 2 cups cooked and mashed sweet potatoes, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 4 eggs, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half teaspoons of baking soda, half teaspoons of ground nutmeg, quarter teaspoons of salt, 1 cup sifted confectioner's sugar, 5 teaspoons of orange juice, 2 tablespoons grated orange zest. Recipe of sweet potato pound cake. Firstly, preheat oven at 175 degrees Celsius. Grease and flour a 9-inch tube pan. Sift together flour, baking powder, cinnamon, baking soda, nutmeg, and salt. Set aside. Then, in a large mixing bowl, cream butter and sugar until light and fluffy. Add mashed sweet potatoes and vanilla. Beat until well blended. Add eggs 1 at a time. The batter will look curdled. Add flour to mixture to potato mixture. Beat on low until combined. After that, pour butter into 10-inch tube pan. Bake at 175 degrees Celsius for about 1 hour and 20 minutes, or until a wooden toothpick inserted into cake comes out clean. Cool cake for 20 minutes in the pan, then invert onto serving plate. Finally, to make the glaze in a small bowl, combine confectioner's sugar with 3 to 5 teaspoons orange juice to achieve drizzling consistency. Spoon over 1 cake and sprinkle with orange zest if desired. Ingredients of cookies. These are ingredients. I won't take so much time, so I'm passing this. Recipe of cookies. Firstly, preheat the oven at 180 degrees. Cream butter and sugars. Once creamed, combine in the egg and vanilla. Sift in the flour and salt, then the chocolate chips. After that, roll into walnut-sized balls for a more homemade look, or roll into a long, thick sausage shape and slice to make neater-looking cookies. Lastly, place on ungreased baking paper. If you want to have the real release experience, then bake for just 7 minutes till the cookies are just setting. The cookies will be really fluffy and delicious. Otherwise, cook for 10 minutes until just golden brown the edges. Ingredients of cupcake. I am also passing this one. Recipe of cupcake. Preheat oven at 190 degrees. Line muffin cups with papers. Then cream butter and sugar till light and fluffy. Beat in eggs 1 at a time. After that, add flour, mix with baking powder and salt, alternating with milk, beat well, stir in vanilla. Finally, divide evenly among pans and bake for 18 minutes. Let cool in pans. So, bon appetit.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Any questions?
Any questions on cupcakes, cookies? Anyone? If not, we're kind of going to be short on time here. Go ahead and go to your presentations. You're moving.
So no questions?
We have questions.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we know that Turkey has a very rich selection of desserts, such as baklava, lokum, or like, for example, künefe or hazababa. Why didn't you present those?
Because they are not kind of these cookies or pies or cakes. Did you understand?
So why you?
They are off topic.
Present a cupcake or a cookie.
They have the best baklava in the world, and they don't even talk about it.
Well, they are off topic. They are desserts, but we didn't include in this presentation because they are not really any kind of pies, cakes, cookies, or cupcakes.
Okay.
Okay. So, no questions now?
Yeah, go ahead, do your video.
We have questions.
Okay, go ahead, Taiwan.
What food do you usually go with sweet potato pound cakes?
Did you get the question?
No, I didn't.
What food do you usually go with sweet potato pound cake?
Can you repeat? Can you repeat?
What food do you usually eat with a sweet potato pound cake? Do you eat it with any kind of food or drinks?
No, we don't eat with any kind of fruit or drinks.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you. Do we have other questions?
No questions now?
Okay.
Oh, we have questions? Go ahead.
So, you finished the report by bon appetit. So, how do you say bon appetit in Turkey?
That's a good
Can
one.
you, we say afiyet olsun.
Thank you.
I would like to ask a question on that, guys. How come so many French words have dropped into the Turkish language? Like surprise, you know, and bon appetit, stuff like that.
Almost 5%. Because there are a lot of French and other nationalities lived in Turkey, and their words and kinds of stuff in our vocabulary.
Yeah, and by the way, you guys got the best dramas. I watched a lot of Turkish dramas. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you very much.
Go ahead and continue, please.
Is apple pie traditional food for you?
Okay.
No, it's not. Not at all.
No.
Michael, I'm mistaken. We got 4 videos, okay?
Okay, go ahead. Just go quick through them, and then we'll go to Taiwan. Go ahead.
Okay, we'll start with mine. Do you have our videos, or we just need to open it?
Open them from your side because they're on Facebook, and I can't get our school blocks Facebook.
Okay, no problem. Let's see. Did you get it?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah. There's some handsome man on this one.
Sorry?
I said there's some handsome looking guy on this one.
Hello there, I'm Fatih from Untitled Chapter High School, 12th grade. So this month's subject is cakes, cookies, and cupcakes. It's always been hard to make these kind of decisions, but after asking some friends of mine, I decided to bake cupcakes. So here are the ingredients. 2 eggs, 1 glass of white sugar, 1 tablespoon of cocoa, 1.5 glass of milk, half glass of oil, 1 package of vanilla, 1 package of baking powder, 2 glass of flour, and 1 package of cream. I bought all the ingredients and first I'll bake the cake, then prepare the cream and add some decoration to our cupcake. Let's get started. Here are the all ingredients. First we add 2 eggs. And a glass of sugar. we heat the oven to 175 degrees. Now we add the other ingredients. A tablespoon of cacao, and half a glass of milk, half a glass of oil, and a package of vanilla. Now we mix this mixture. Now we'll use this from now on. And we add the half of the 2 glass of flour. We add our package of baking powder. Mix them. After mixing those for a while, we can add the rest of the flour. Time to fill our cupcake molds. We heat it for 25 minutes. It's time to prepare the cream since our cupcakes are in the oven. A package of milk. And a glass of milk. And now we mix them for 10 minutes. It smells awesome. I think we can turn it off now. It's been 25 minutes. The cupcakes are all baked and refrigerated. We use some biscuits and chocolates. It's ready to be eaten. It tastes great.
Yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Until next time, goodbye.
Go ahead with your other three real quick, and then we'll go to Taiwan, then we'll go to Argentina.
Okay. Wait a second.
Good work.
Thank you.
We have questions from Taiwan.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Go. Go.
Is the cake popular in your country?
I can't hear it.
Louder.
Desserts popular in your country?
Sorry?
Is a cake popular? Is a cake that you made popular in your country?
Cupcake? Yeah, it's pretty popular nowadays. It is. Okay, we carry on with the others.
Okay, go ahead with the next question.
Yeah?
You need to talk louder.
How often do you eat apple pie?
How often do you eat apple pie in your country? People in your country, how often do they eat apple pie?
Just like you eat. It's the same way you eat.
Same as most people eat desserts?
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Thank you. We have one last question.
Okay.
We've got two last questions.
How long did you spend in making that cuisine in a video?
I can't hear you.
How long did it take for you to make it in the video?
It took 4 hours, maybe 5 hours. I don't know. We carry on with the others.
And did you meet any obstacles in making that cuisine?
Did you have any difficulty?
No, it was fine. My mother helped me a lot. I'm not a good cooker, so.
Okay. We got some more shorter ones here too.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Yeşimen. This is Isto.
Şu an ekran paylaş. Büyütün, başka. Bekleyin. Bekleyin. En başlayalım.
Sesini açayım. Nereden açılıyor?
Açık, sonra ses zaten. O yüzden ben. Hoparlör var mı? Bana oraya çıkıyorum.
Now we are mixing them.
Cupcakes are easy. Thanks for watching. Do you have any questions?
Any questions?
Yes.
Was the video filmed in your class, in your school?
Can you repeat that question?
Yeah, it was a video filmed in your school.
No, we didn't.
Where did you film it?
We filmed it at our house.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's go ahead for the third video, please, real quick. We won't get to Mary's presentations in time, so let's go ahead.
Hi, Mike. Today we are going to show you how to make this video. Let's get started. And 2 glasses of water, and a packet of vanilla, and a packet of vegetables. After mixing them, put some mixture in another bowl, and then add a tablespoon of cactus and mix them. Put a tablespoon of a plain mixture to a cupcake. And now, a dessertspoon of cocoa mixture over them. Then preheat the oven and cook them 20 minutes at 170 degrees. Mix these ingredients to make the cream while cupcakes are cooking. Now, read the house. It smells tasty. Our cupcakes are cooked, so it's time to garnish our cupcakes and eat them with all pleasure. Cupcakes are ready to eat, and I made this for myself. It smells so delicious. Greetings from Turkey. Bon appetit!
Any questions? Any questions for the chocolate cupcakes? And there they are in person. Any questions, Taiwan, Argentina?
We have one question.
Okay, go.
Are there any decorations on the confection?
No, we just add some chocolate chips and then chocolate cream.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any questions?
How big is your school?
Okay, we have another one.
Yeah.
We're sorry that it took long.
There was one more question.
Okay,
go ahead, Taiwan. Go ahead. What was your question?
How long did you spend to
How long?
How long what?
How long does it take to make those chocolate cupcakes? How long does it
Or, I don't remember right now. But 2 or
Between
3.
2 and 3 hours.
Okay.
Okay, we have one last question. Loud, please, very loud.
Yeah.
Where can you buy the ingredients to make the cupcake?
You can buy any of markets. It's not important.
Yeah, in fact,
A market called Özlek.
At
Yeah,
markets?
yeah, at supermarkets. They have the ingredients on the video, and we have the video up on the Facebook page. So they can, if anybody wants to try it, they can do it.
Thank you.
That's one thing we want to add this year is actually have people try some of these good, recipes. Okay, last video, and then we'll go to Taiwan. Thank you very much, Turkey. And
I finished.
Thank you so much. And just a shout out for good work and the hard work that you guys do and the hard work for your teacher as well. for the people that may not know, Bursa is the ancient capital of the Ottoman Empire. So when the girls from Iran were asking about all the different desserts, they were actually doing desserts from mostly Western desserts, although they have some of the best natural desserts in that area in the world anyways. So we appreciate all your hard work and efforts. And let's go to Taiwan. Y'all stay on and you can listen to and ask questions of people from Taiwan.
I don't think we'll be able to stay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
We thank you.
Thank you. Mary?
Today we are going to introduce Taiwanese traditional desserts. First, we will talk about Taiwanese pineapple cake. In Taiwan, the word for pineapple sounds similar to the phrase, "Here comes prosperity." Thus, pineapple have come to symbolize good luck and fortune.
In Taiwan, people buy pineapple cakes as gifts for each other during the Lunar New Year and other traditional festivals. Now we will show you the ingredients.
We need 240 grams of cake flour, 160 grams of unsalted butter, 100 grams of sugar, 20 grams of milk powder, 55 grams of egg cream, 2 grams of salt, and 360 grams of pineapple filling.
Directions. This makes about 30 small biscuit cakes. First, we will show you how to make the dough. Sieve the cake flour and the sugar. Then add butter, sugar, and salt together and whip it to white. After that, add egg cream. Add milk powder and cake flour and stir so that the contents blend evenly. Mix them evenly until it becomes a dough. Sprinkle a little all-purpose flour on the table and knead the dough on the table so that the dough is no longer sticky.
Next, we will tell you how to wrap the dough. Divide the dough and the pineapple filling into 30 pieces each, then roll them into small balls.
Wrap the pineapple filling with pastry dough, and after that, roll them into an oval shape, and put them into cake mold. Press it hard, placing it neatly on the baking tray.
Bake it at 180 degrees centigrade for 12 minutes. Take out the baking tray and flip the pineapple cake.
Continue to bake it for 6 minutes, and your pineapple cakes are ready to serve.
And now we will show you the actual food.
Okay, we will show you the cakes.
By the way, a famous store for selling pineapple cakes in Taiwan is Sunny Hills. This is the end of our first part.
Thanks for your attention.
Before we start the second part, do you have any questions?
Any questions? Any questions, Iran or Argentina?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, we have the students. Come on. Vamos.
Go ahead, Argentina.
Ahí, porque no tenemos, ahí.
O sea, yo me
Ahí.
okay.
O siéntese o pregunta ahí. Siéntese si quiere. Hello, pasen acá y me question, please.
How long did it take to complete the project?
How long does it take to make the cake?
Well, it's about 3 hours. It takes 3 hours.
3 hours. 3 hours.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Question, ahí la otra, vamos ahí, vamos.
Any questions, Iran?
Vamos la otra.
Hello. Well.
We have one question, Michael.
Well.
Okay, go ahead. Let's do the one question first.
How long this it take to complete the project? Well, how much is the maximum you can
Okay. Go ahead, Argentina, please.
Wow, meets how much is the maximum you can eat?
How much does that recipe make?
How much is the recipe?
You know, not how much. How much of the cake? How big is the cake?
How big? It's actually small pieces. Again, and the recipe makes how many pieces? And the recipe, how many pieces does it make?
30 pieces.
Okay, 13.
Closer. 30 pieces of this small biscuit size cake.
Okay, let's go ahead. Taiwan, do you next?
Okay, we have two, so the second part.
Okay, go ahead.
Next, we want to introduce traditional Taiwanese food, puffed rice. According to a legend 100 years ago, a monk used a bamboo tube to preserve rice in order not to be eaten by rats and insects. One day, the bamboo tube was accidentally burnt. The white rice stored in a bamboo suddenly burst open at high temperature and pressure. The white rice actually turned into 6 times bigger than it was before. After that, the 17 monk ate the inflated rice with sugar. He thought its taste was really delicious. This is the origin of the puffed rice.
And now we will share with you the recipe of puffed rice. Ingredients: makes about 2 servings. 70 grams of rice, 70 grams of tangerine rice, 20 grams of peanuts, 50 grams of brown sugar, 50 grams of maltose, 40 milliliters of water.
Directions. First, wash the rice, tangerine rice, peanuts, and drain them. Second, put all the above ingredients into a pot and stir fry at low heat. Don't stop until the color turns brownish. Third, in another small pot, pour in water, maltose, and sugar. Mix and heat them. Don't stir until the syrup is about to form. Fourth, put the syrup into a big pot and mix it with the rice, tangerine rice, and the peanut as you stir fry it.
Fifth, after mixing the rice mixture, put the puffed rice on a baking paper. You can add raisins, pumpkin seeds, nuts, or anything you like. Sixth, after that, flatten the contents while the temperature is still warm. Set aside to chill. 7. Last, cut the puffed rice into any shape that you want.
Then we will show you the actual food.
So that's in the package that you buy at a store and that at a market actually, and then that's the cube that you can break off from the package.
White rice is the staple food of East Asia. The traditional puffed rice is a mixture of rice and grains. Although the main ingredient is white rice, you can add all kinds of ingredients to make the flavor more special. After removing the husk from the rice, the flavor will fade away, so you can add brown sugar or other kind of grain, not only to increase the taste, but also to enrich the nutritional value.
There are many differences between market-sold puffed rice and homemade ones. That is, puffed rice that is made to market will burst and pop when the lid is opened, and homemade ones don't. Here is how the steps are different. First, heat the rice in a pressure cooker for about 20 minutes. The temperature and the gas inside the pot will increase. Second, when the temperature rises to a certain extent, open the lid. Right at the moment, the rice will pop open because of the sudden release of the pressure inside the pot.
Puffed rice is a traditional snack. However, they aren't commonly seen nowadays, but you can see them sold on other streets and near temples. Thanks for your attention. Do you have any questions?
I have one question.
Go ahead.
Question, vamos a ir el micrófono. No, no llega. Tiene que acercarte acá.
Yes, we have questions.
Yes, go ahead.
Does it have a special name in your country?
As the happened that desert.
We couldn't quite hear the question from Turkey before, and then we couldn't hear the question from Argentina either.
Bueno,
Let's go to Argentina first. Explain. What's your question?
We are asking for your dessert has a name, a traditional name in your country.
Oh, the traditional name of the dessert.
Yeah.
Could you repeat the name? I don't think you introduced the name in Chinese.
Yeah.
Together, please.
米香.
Okay.
So it's actually the Chinese translation of rice pop.
Oh, wow. Say that again, Mary.
He called me Xiang.
Okay. Okay. I guess to get that first one. Okay. Let's go ahead.
So Argentina, did you have a question for us?
Which are the dessert is the typical of your country?
The third what?
Typical dessert.
The third difficult dish or what? What are you talking about?
Yes.
So do you mean which dish is more difficult to make or what?
Yes.
Which one is more difficult to make? Pineapple cake or rice pop?
Pineapple cake.
Really? Okay. So pineapple cake is more difficult to make.
Pineapple cake is more difficult to make.
Hello.
Hello, we are from Argentina.
Hello, we are from Argentina.
Yeah.
Do you like the experience? Do you like experience?
Experimenting in making the dish?
Do you like this experience?
Do you like this experience?
Experience.
Experience.
So do you mean experiencing or experimenting in making the food?
No, this project.
This project.
Okay, so they say, do you actually enjoy experiencing or experimenting doing the project?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's the question. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead, the question.
Yes, we enjoy it.
Okay. Yes, they enjoyed the whole project.
Okay.
Okay.
Question, vamos. Ahí, mi. No, la están mirando, chicos. Hello.
Hello.
Fuerte.
Hello. The which season occasions
What season do you prepare this?
When do you prepare them?
Which season
Which occasion?
this is prepared?
So which occasions do we prepare or eat this pop rice or pineapple cake? Is that the question?
Yes, in what season of the year do you prepare most this dish? That's the question. What season?
Okay. What season? Do we have a special season to eat this or not?
We eat the two desserts whenever we want.
Okay. If there isn't a special season that you eat it, you can eat it whenever you like too.
Okay, good.
All year round. You can eat it all year round.
Questions?
It easy to prepare. Sí. It easy to prepare.
Is it easy to prepare? Is that the question?
Yes.
Is it easy to make the dish that you just introduced?
Not very easy.
Okay, you just answer louder. Okay. They say it's not very easy. It is not easy.
Let's go ahead and go with your last presentation.
We're done with ours here.
Oh, okay, good. I'm sorry. Okay, then we're going to go to Argentina. So,
Okay.
go ahead.
Vamos, acá adelante. Okay. No, ese se terminaron ellos. Vamos.
¿Leo nomás?
No, espero que pongan el power.
Sorry, Michael, are you going to show the PowerPoint?
Right now.
Okay, thank you.
What?
Hello.
Okay, Monica, why don't you introduce your school to us? Tell us a little bit about your school.
Oh, okay. Hello. We are from Argentina. We live in the north part of Argentina. Our province is called Jujuy. The school is a 3 shifts school in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. This is a high school from 1st year to 5th year. Students come here, and when they graduate, they get a degree of, especially in commerce, because that's the specialization of our school. They have classes according to the shift, either in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening, and in the other part of the day they have extra activities like physical education or certain other activities. It's a very small school. The budget of the school is a public secondary school, but the budget is quite tight, let's say. And we are in the center of the city, but we get students from all around the neighborhood areas. So there is a mixture of population. But it's a very nice school. The students work hard, and English is really sometimes hard for them. So this is very remarkable that they can work with this activity and have the opportunity to share with other schools. So they are really very pleased. Today they come in the morning because they have classes in the afternoon, but in order to connect with some other schools, they came earlier today to see and to share.
Oh, that's very nice. And did you say the principal was there too earlier?
Yeah, she was. I'll call her because she was waiting for the students to present. I'll call her. She's coming. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll wait just a second then so you can get hold of your principal.
She's here. She's here. Maybe she will say hi.
Okay, just say, I'll try to see if I can stop the screen share a second.
This is our principal. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing? I'll try to get you on a bigger screen, I'm sorry.
Fine. Muy bien, gracias. Thank you.
Muy buen tip. Thank you so much. Gracias.
Ah.
Yeah.
Hola.
Hola.
Hello.
¿Qué pasó?
Hello. Ah, bueno, que no sé inglés, no me acuerdo. Bien.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to go ahead with a bigger deal, and I will run the PowerPoint from here, and you can explain, okay? So everybody can see you guys a little bit bigger. Monica, tell us about the room you're in. What's the background of the room?
Okay, the background of the room is this is the PC laboratory in the school. Our school was one of the first to start in a program some years ago that the students are supposed to get a netbook for each one. So this is where they store the netbooks that are not working or are in reparation or something. The people from the laboratory are very nice, and they have arranged us to have this meeting here because the internet connection in the school, as you probably can see, is not quite high. So we need to get here. That is a small place to meet and to get the connection. But
okay.
This is the PC lab.
Oh, good. Okay. Go ahead.
The students are ready, and they have the real pasta flora in hands here to show them after.
Okay. Just tell me when to flip it. I'll be good.
Okay. Ready? Come start. Okay. Next. Hello. My name is. Hello. My name is Rocío Barice. I'm from Jujuy, Argentina. 100 of butter, 125 grams of sugar, 1 egg, 216 grams of vanilla essence, 15 marmalade. Next. Preparation. In a bowl, we put the flour, and in the center the butter in paste that must be soft. The egg and sugar of the preparation. Next, please.
I got it.
Mix well everything and get to dough of pasta frolla. We take the dough to the refrigerator to cool and be easier to handle. Next, please.
Go ahead.
As the dough cools, we meet the street, and for that we put in the pot the street skins in cubes of modified. And 2 or 3 tablespoons of water, and as you soften, will we mix it until it's like jam. Remove it and reserve. Remove. Next, please.
Go ahead.
Once the dough is ready to the size of the tray, we use. Collocate the tray previously. We put bit butter in flour and the street above the dough. Next, please.
Go ahead.
We take our dough into a strip. We cut. Next, please.
Just a second. I went over one. Okay. Go ahead.
Brush with egg and put in the oven. Ready to eat. Members: Calapeña Jacquelina, Mamani Micaela, Trejo Jessica, Guarizo Rocío, Martínez Florencia, Martínez Ramiro, Vargas Gustavo, Kipildor Levi, Calizaya Cintia. Quinto primera, turno Escuela Publicidad de Comercio número 1.
Argentina, Jujuy.
Here they have the real pasta flora. If you take out the, you see?
Wow.
That's ready to eat and to enjoy. Okay, questions?
Questions? Mary, you have questions? Brazil, anybody have any questions? Mary?
Ustedes tienen su PowerPoint, no me lo mandaron a mí. ¿Cuándo? Esta mañana, ¿qué hora? Yo tenía que estar acá a las 9, tenía que estar a las 8. Chicas, no lo tiene. A ver,
My students have other, they have prepared some other typical, let me show them. But they didn't, I didn't get the PowerPoint to you. Can I send it now so they can present?
Yeah, go ahead. Send me, there's a couple questions. If you send me that, I'll get on the screen.
We have a question from Taiwan.
Yeah. This is the other thing that they have worked with.
Loudly.
Our very typical empanadillas.
Monica?
Yeah, we have a question here.
Yeah, just a moment, Mary. Monica, just send me the PowerPoint, and Taiwan will ask you questions, and I'll get up. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Taiwan. Sorry.
Go.
Is this dessert very common in your country?
Is it very common?
Repeat the question, please.
Yeah. The question to Taiwan, from Taiwan. Go ahead. I think the question was, is it very common to your country?
So is it a common food in your country?
Monica, is it common food?
It's the marmalade, the jam that is prepared is quite typical from our area. It's a pity we didn't bring the fruit because it's a very special fruit from the area.
Okay.
Monica, I have a question too. Did you make these recipes at home or at school?
At home.
Ah, very good. And how long did you take to make it?
In English.
1 hour.
Okay. More questions? Go ahead.
More questions? Sorry, this is a project that we are doing in the English class, but the school is oriented to a commerce area. So we don't have kitchen or things to prepare anything, food in the school. So everything is done at home. They prepare, and today they brought the pasta flora especially to show you for this project. That's why they prepare the thing with the PowerPoint, the steps of the recipe.
Okay. Monica,
and we have one
go ahead.
last question.
Go ahead.
Go.
When do you eat it?
Louder, please.
When do you eat it?
When do you usually eat this kind of food?
Yeah. When do you normally eat this? What time of day or what time of year?
We can eat pasta flora all year round, but it's for tea or for breakfast. what we call tea in the afternoon, merienda, and breakfast. Or sometimes we share, or a special occasion in parties, birthday parties, or some parties, people prepare this.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Were you going to send us the PowerPoints on the other two?
I'm trying to do that.
Okay.
I mean, what happened, the connection is, I can't do, as we are connecting with the video conference, it's hard to open the mail, but I'm working on that.
Okay.
Few seconds there.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, she's got 2 more presentations that she's going to do very quickly, and they have PowerPoints. They already made the food, but they're preparing the PowerPoints send up to us right now to show it. And then we should be joined in about 10 minutes from a school in Baltimore outside of Maryland in USA. Schools from Iran and Bursra both thanked the school from Taiwan and said they had to leave.
Sorry, Michael. Is there a way that I can set up this in the Facebook page that you have? Because it's complicated here to send it by mail. I need to open my mail and
Okay, go ahead. Try to send Facebook and I'll do it.
Because I asked for to be a member, but I'm pending. I can't add anything right now.
Okay, that's no problem.
Okay.
You can probably show start. Lean de ahí, presenten. Si tienen, no sé. De ahí no le pueden ver la pantalla. No puede.
Hey, Mary, how far is the junior high school from your school?
How long did it take for you to get to our school?
Anything.
A 30-minute drive?
Wow. That's real nice that they came today.
Yeah, very welcome. We welcome you. Yeah? Did you have more questions? Does anybody have more questions on our site? We have more questions. Now's the time because they're trying to get the video up, I think.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're waiting on her to get the video to me.
1 hour.
Wow.
Another one. We have another question for Argentina.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we make salted flavor to replace sweet flavor?
Repeat question.
Can we make salted flavor to replace sweet flavor?
So instead of making it sweet, can you make it salty?
No, only sweet.
No, only sweet.
Only sweet.
I'm sure you can make it salty.
I think they have meat pies in Australia and the USA, right?
They have, that pie is very common. And it'd be very similar to probably like an apple pie or something else. They just happen to put sweet in it. If you go to Turkey, they might have something sour. You go to England and places, they may even have meat.
Yeah, I remember we have students from Australia say they call it shepherd pie.
Yeah.
They have meat inside, meat and potatoes and something else.
Yeah, and you know, like when I really get a kick out of like the people from Turkey had that sweet potato. People make sweets out of almost anything. It's really kind of strange. I don't mean it's strange. I mean it's like it's interesting how you can make food out of stuff you don't normally think of it being a sweet food. There goes the idea of eat your vegetables. They're good for you. Okay, Monica, did you get it to the Facebook or no? If not, let's just go ahead and present it, what you have there, and then we'll just have to do from that.
My student asked if they can ask some general question to the school in Taiwan.
Yeah, go ahead. They'd love to do that.
Okay. While I'm trying to upload the PowerPoint.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you have Spanish classes?
Please, again, can you repeat the question again?
Do you have Spanish classes?
Do you teach Spanish in school?
Spanish. Do we have Spanish classes?
Yes.
Yes.
What kind of class is that?
Hola.
Okay, so it's an elective course, so not everyone gets to take the class. It's an elective course, as in you can choose this a class in Spanish or another class. So it's an elective class here in our school.
So, Mary, most of your students would have chosen English as a second language, right?
Well, English is a required language that you have to test on. But
wow.
there are like Spanish and what else? Japanese, anything else? German to choose from if you want to take other language courses.
Oh, wow. So everyone has to take English, and everyone has to
because
take
it's an international language, obviously.
Yeah, no, but everyone takes Mandarin?
Yeah, obviously, that's the official language.
Okay, good. And then how many languages else would you learn?
I don't think you're required to learn a second foreign language, but you could choose to learn a second or third language.
Could we see the hands of the people that chose in your group there second language?
If you have chosen second language, raise your hand. Either Japanese or I don't know, Spanish or German. Okay, so I think that's like a third.
Okay.
A third of the.
And how many of those people that raised their hand chose Japanese?
Japanese. Anybody here chose Japanese? One.
Okay.
Just one.
How many people chose German?
German. 1, 2, 3. Three.
Okay. And how many people chose Spanish?
Spanish? Oh, a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay,
so,
right.
So the kids from Argentina can speak Spanish to you, and you can speak perfect Spanish back to them, right?
My students want to listen to them to speak it in Spanish.
Yeah.
That would be great. They would love it.
Yeah.
Okay, we have. Do you want to try? Some are very new at this, but yeah, we have students who is ready.
I have learned a sentence, but I'm not really sure what that sentence means.
Okay.
Like, ¿cómo te llamas usted?
Oh.
Yo me llamo Rocío Guarice. ¿Y vos? ¿Y tú?
Nina.
¿Y tú? No, hasta ahí llegué. No.
I don't know how to
respond.
Teach her how to respond and teach her what she said.
Yo me llamo. Is that right? Yo me llamo. Yo me llamo Atalo.
Is Spanish a second language to learn in Brazil?
Spanish. Well, usually at school we have English, but in some schools they have Spanish too. But that's it. We don't have French, German, Japanese, Chinese, only English and sometimes Spanish.
Oh.
Usually students don't learn to speak any other language. Even with classes at school, usually students can't speak.
Here, the students have the possibility to learn English or French in this school, in the one that we are in. Some other schools in Argentina have Italian also and Portuguese. Not this school.
Now, there's a large group of Italian people living in Argentina, correct?
Sorry?
Yeah, Monica, there's a large group of people from Argentina that live in excuse me, there's a large group of Italians that live in Argentina, correct?
Yes, we have a big community from Italian, Spanish people, people from different countries. Also now from the Asian country, we have a big group have got into our country. Yes.
You have a very famous gentleman that used to live in Argentina. His family came from Italy, Pope Francis, right?
Yes.
Okay. I do not have those Facebook. I haven't got. Why don't you go ahead and just show us what you're going to show us, okay? I'm sorry.
Okay, yes, they are going to show directly because I'm trying to send it, but the computer is stuck. Doesn't the mail doesn't go out?
Okay,
So they are going to present.
Go ahead.
Ingredients, lean los ingredients. En eso, caso de mente, les tengo acá la máquina si quieres. Pónganla acá.
Eso lo ponemos. Dough flour. Sí. Ese dough.
Ahí, a ver.
Hacele en grande, hacele en grande. Bueno.
Okay, empanadas, right?
It's empanadillas. It's a sweet dessert also for tea or some kind of, let's say, the equivalent of a cupcake probably, because it is stuffed with different kind of sweet. Remember that the pasta frolla was with what we call membrillo, the quench fruit. This is done by a typical fruit also here in Argentina called cayote. So the sweet that is made is from this fruit that is look like a watermelon, but the inside is different and have this special sweet that is called cayote in Spanish.
Now, hey, Monica, we have something that looks exactly like that in Texas and Mexico, but we call them empanadas, and then they would have like pumpkin in them or apple fillings or sometimes even meat.
Yes, we have our typical and traditional empanadas here in Argentina that are stuffed with meat, eggs, onions, and some other things, sometimes potatoes, it depends, very, very well cut, or chicken, different kind of meat. That's for lunch. But these ones are made, covered with something white on the top, because they are sweet, so they are
okay,
for...
good. I see what you're saying. This would be more like a dessert instead of like a lunch meal.
Yes, yes.
Ready, stop. Yes, ready to start.
Hello.
Hello. Hola.
Dough, flour. One kiss. Butter. Butter. ¿Cuánto es? No, butter 1 kilo. No, butter 1 kilo. 200 gramos. Butter.
Gaby, venile.
Pon en Google el traductor.
Gaby,
Flour, 1 kilo. Kilo. Butter, 2,000 grams.
1 teaspoon baking powder.
Baking powder.
Okay.
40,000
400 grams.
sugar. Por no sé qué.
4 and was sugar.
Vainilla.
Vanilla. 1 cups.
The water.
The water.
¿Y por qué es la no?
Okay.
Fishing caramel cayote. Fishing caramel cayote.
Caramels, cayote. Bleach. Clara 3.
Okay.
White 3. Sugar, 2,000 grams. ¿Qué dice? One
water. Lemon. Juice. 1 chicle.
Juice. Lemon juice.
Lemon tree.
Juice. Mixture of ingredients.
Okay. Why don't we just go to the final project because it probably might be better just to show now, okay? And we'll put the PowerPoints up on the Facebook page.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Stuff inside with the cayote sweet.
Wow.
And it has the cover of, you see the white thing that is icy.
Uh-huh.
Icy white with sugar and egg is the preparation to do the covering, so they look white. That's all. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Oh, no, that was very nice. Taiwan, you have any questions?
Yeah, we have a question here.
Did you put any spice on that kind of pastry?
Spice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spice.
Canela, vanilla.
Canela, vanilla.
Canela, vanilla. Cinnamon. Sorry.
Cinnamon and vanilla. That's all.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Is it difficult for you to make it?
¿Es difícil hacerlo?
No.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
How often would you make something like that?
How fast? ¿Cuánto tiempo le lleva hacer eso?
En 10, 15 minutos. No.
Una
hora.
hora.
1 hour.
1 hour?
1 hour. 1 hour.
1 hour.
1 hour.
The sweet takes time to prepare. It's supposed to be ready beforehand in both sides, in pasta frola and in empanadilla. People prepare the sweet like a jump beforehand. So when it's ready, they make or the pasta frola or the empanadillas.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, now, if there are no further questions, remember next month when we do this, we'll do traditional foods from your country for celebrations. So that'll give and we're also doing food security. One of the goals of the schools we've been doing some work with in India is to develop some of these millennial goals. So we're talking a little bit about food security as well. But we're going to be talking about traditional foods. I know it's really late in Taiwan, and I know the kids want to probably go sleep so they get up in the morning and go back to school and do it again. And in Argentina, we really appreciate you guys coming in early because you actually go late. We are waiting about 15 more minutes and we'll have a school from Canada. But if you'd like to call back in 15 minutes, because we'll have to say goodbye to everybody else, and you can talk to the school from Canada. They have like 5 presentations themselves.
Okay, thank you. It was really very nice sharing with the school from Taiwan. We hope next time they can prepare some more questions in Spanish so they can practice next month.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to listen. Okay, say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Adios.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.